Firstly, we've learnt the correct way of portraying social anxiety due to a feedback from a girl who suffered from it herself in the past. She told us about the safe item and the ways in which people suffer with anxiety. This led to us adding the safe item to the production, and this then became a theme throughout all of our media product, as mentioned in the previous question. The heartbeat sound effect was also added in light of this conversation with the girl. This added good tension and also made the product more realistic.
In the first draft of the script, we didn't have a resolution, which gave the film an open-ended feel to it. In feedback, Vanessa encouraged us to use a counselling scene in the short film to act as a resolution/conclusion to the film, and this was something that we received during the pitch of our film. We wrote a draft of the script without this scene in, and from this we then compare what it looked like with or without the counsellor scene. As it turned out, the scene acted as a good resolution to the film, and it brought closure to the plot. We received feedback on an early draft of the film which featured quick zooms to the dressing scene, similar to that of Shaun of the Dead. Amy and Harriet in our class advised that this editing technique didn't match our genre as it seemed gimmicky, fitting more to a comedy genre. As well as this, Vanessa advised that the duration of the shots were too short, meaning we didn't get to know the character or the setting. As we were aiming for a drama short film genre, this would not match, so we took this part out, making the shots longer so that we got more of a feel for the location and Adam as a character.
Throughout the process, we both received blog feedback every month, which helped us stay on track and on time. The first real amendment she recommended was that we forge a production schedule to make us meet deadlines, and this actually proved to be very effective. For example, we set the internal deadline of finishing our short film by the 15th of December, and this is something we achieved. Without a production schedule, we may have took longer to finish this part of our coursework.
The pitch of our short film was a huge part for our audience feedback and resulted in a lot of changes to our film. First of all, we received feedback on our tagline, which at the time was "Can you hear them too?" People said that this made it sound too much like a horror film. They also said that it broke the fourth wall, as it appeared the tagline is questioning the audience directly. It was advised that this was also unfitting with our genre, so we changed it to "Is it just me?" This portrays the idea that Adam is not only questioning his sanity, but also, is he the only person suffering with anxiety?
In the pitch, we were also told to be sure to pay close detail to sound, as it would be crucial to amplify the sense of anxiety in our film. This meant that in the production of our film, we paid equal attention to visual and sound. After we planned the short film, almost at the stage that we were ready to film, we discovered that our short film shared multiple conventions of the film A Rational Fear of Nothing. We therefore decided to show our media group the film and ask them for feedback on things that did or didn't work within that film. The feedback we received from this procedure was firstly that the piano music worked really well in portraying the narrative, however it was good not to have it throughout the whole entire film. We therefore acted upon this feedback and decided to just use our piano music at the beginning and at the end of the film. Secondly, people really enjoyed the internal monologue part of the Irrational Fear of Nothing and thought that it was good in telling the narrative and also portraying social anxiety. We therefore decided to have it throughout the whole of our short film as well.
So following the screening, we actually put out a questionnaire just asking for opinions on our short film Adam, and this was actually a really crucial part of our feedback and probably the most important feedback we received throughout the whole process. So there were two really important points we gathered from that. We were really worried that the film would seem repetitive, given that it's over 3 days and it repeats itself often with shots and setting. So we asked our audience what they thought of that, putting in and disagree or agree box next to was the film repetitive. People agreed that it was repetitive, but they understood that the repetition included in the film was actually important to telling the story. So they felt that it was effective in, showing his day-to-day life and his day-to-day struggle. So it actually really helped, and it showed that our creative outcome by using repetition actually really worked and that the audience enjoyed it.
From the screening of feedback, one of our questions was about social anxiety and the way in which it was portrayed. People mainly thought that the acting and the voiceover alongside each other were very successful in portraying anxiety, and we in fact scored an average score of 8.5 when asked how well was social anxiety portrayed out of 10. This has shown that our creative methods has worked in portraying social anxiety as planned. However, we did receive some constructive criticism, which was that our colours were slightly too saturated, and therefore our creative outcomes will be changed, as we're going to need to bring down the saturations on some of the shots, especially the SnorriCam ones.
However, probably the greatest criticism we received was on sound. Some of our sound peaked too loud, which meant that it was on the loudspeakers incredibly sharp, and it really we need to sort out the levels when it comes to that. That's something we'll do based on the feedback we've received. We'll have to change the levels to make it better.